It is my sincere hope that you are doing and feeling well, both physically and emotionally. Ahead of the forthcoming seasonal holidays, and as we are preparing to greet and enter the new year, I just wanted to share with you my thoughts and to reflect on the strange and unprecedented year now coming to an end, thanks God. The disruptive events of this past year were really defining moments in our lives that will be forever engraved in the annals of mankind history. When practically all of our comfort zone, and not to say our basic human rights, have been stripped away with so-called new normal, and that we have been attested in many ways that could never before have previously imagined. It is more important than ever to know how deeply connected we are with ourselves and with our loved one. We may be quarantined within our homes, but we are certainly not quarantined in our souls, are we? We have enormous ability to reach deeper into the hearts and the souls of our loved one, of our friends and strangers. Well, indeed, these crazy times have opened up a new and unprecedented opportunities and a great need to become better people and to build a better and more righteous world. Although no one wanted or expected these unprecedented challenges at a global level, it has been thrust upon us and present us with two choices. Choice number one is that we cover ourselves in a fear and retreat into the clouds of uncertainty, or to take a chance and to rise to the occasion and work ourselves, to connect with our souls, become more spiritual and less material. As a matter of fact, you and me consist of two components. We consist of a body and a soul, and our happiness is possible only when we bridge these dichotomous entities, when we nourish our souls as much as we nourish our bodies. Because true security is only possible when our material lives are rooted in and connected with our spiritual one. But we must acknowledge that material life is not a self-sufficient end in itself. Rather, it is only a means for spiritual expression, and the body is only a vehicle for our soul's journey in this world. Now, let me tell you something about these seeming securities that we thought we have had before these pandemics. When you are suffering, for example, financially, it sounds more practical to intensify your efforts to find a supplemental income, right? Like a new job, a new type of investment, and so on and so forth. When money is lost, it seems that the most logical thing to do is to become, let's say, more aggressive in our pursuit of money or other financial or material values, rather than to escape behind the spiritual walls. But think again, from where do we derive ultimate security? Can a structure rest comfortably only on a shifting foundation? Can a child build a confidence with absentee parents? Can we become secure with something that is fundamentally insecure? True security can come only from something that is not temporary. Hence, our safety and trust is built on, that which is solid and permanent. Everything in this material universe is intrinsically impermanent. We are mortals living in an ever-changing and ever-aging world. Everything physical erodes, ages and dies. Everything that has a beginning has an end. Our looks, our youth, our food, our belongings, and yes, also our money, all get depleted sooner or later. We may find ourselves face to face with existential fear and loneliness that people have long wrestled with, that we are alone in our universe, that life lacks some purpose and direction. And in our internal terror, we answer the challenge to define our true beliefs, who we are, what are our values that we live by every day. And at such a moment, we have a unique opportunity to discard old patterns of behavior and outfit ourselves with the new ones, new patterns, better and healthier. I always find it ironic to call those so-called financial vehicles in the financial world and business, which are inherently temporal and fraught with the risk, with the name securities. Can you imagine? With everything material, including money, being so transitory, how can we expect to find the securities over there? Yet we return there over and over again. And is it because we have become addicted, or because we simply don't know of any other alternatives? Nowadays, we have a golden opportunity to answer and to search the answers of these questions within ourselves. When the floodwaters of existential or financial pressures and anxieties are ranging and threaten to drown us, what we can do? Well, we can build a protective ark and enter into this ark, enter ourselves, enter with our family and our loved ones. We can surround ourselves with the sacred worlds. We can insulate ourselves with spiritual values and ideas that are permanent. So take time, especially these days, to take a moment only for yourselves and or together with your family, and read spiritual thoughts together, pray together. This is not an escapism, this is just being pragmatic and empowering to yourself and to other people. It is acknowledging that when the unpredictable floods are going wild, you have the power to create an oasis, a protective womb that will lift you, and it will lift your loved ones to an eternal place which shelters you from storm. And not just shelter that avoids a danger, but a space and bring permanent comfort, being that it connects you to the immortal, the holy words, and surround your life, so that even when you leave the ark after the flood and return to the material world, that will certainly never be the world as it used to be before these pandemics, you will have you will be somehow, let's say, immune, and you will no longer be so vulnerable to the inherent insecurities of everyday material. While we have no control over the virus and events going on outside of ourselves, outside of our lives, we do indeed have a full control of what's going on inside ourselves. We have a full control on what are our attitudes, which messages we will be giving to ourselves, to our children, to our family, to our friends, how nobly and in how dignified a manner we behave during this unprecedented time, which new skills and strengths we can learn and acquire and become ultimately fully responsible for our lives, rather than asking this responsibility to be assumed by others. So start being your own screenplayer and the movie director in a film called Life. In a movie called Life, which will be enriched and empowered by a spiritual component that we have lost on our path in searching for ourself. But we can always come back and continue search for it. So continue to search for a life with a purpose, otherwise the life will become unbearable. So while we may need to be socially distant for the time being, I wish you all to become more connected to your soul and not just a body, because we are much more than just a body, because our Creator gave us a piece of Himself, our soul. And we can be connected to our Creator through our soul. Therefore, it is our responsibility to choose a meaningful life and not just an existence. My dear friends, the old world order is gone. Whether you want to acknowledge, admit, and see it or not, nobody is asking you. And the rise of the new world is on the threshold. How will it be that new world depends only on you and me. So please opt for life. Please opt for light, for joy, and for your soul. You have this choice to decide for yourself. Illuminate everyone that you can reach with blessings and prayers for a complete, perfect health and many long years, physically and spiritually, new year. I love you all. My best wishes. See you soon.